All right. Oh, are there admit? Okay. And I'm also going to transcribe it with otter.ai so we can all have a copy of the transcription as well. Okay. Puppy sales mastery. I guess, actually, you know what? I wanted to start with just getting to know you ladies better. So why don't we just start with you telling me about your kennel and the dogs that you breed and how you started? That be all right? Okay, good. Why don't you start, Gigi? Oh, you're muted. There we go.
Okay, yeah. Um, Let me see. My daughter started selling mini golden doodles probably at least 2 years before COVID, um, maybe three. And I would help her with that. We've always had dogs around. I've had dogs my whole life. And so I decided I liked what she did, and I thought it would be a good way to make a retirement income. So I bought two dogs from her, and so I've been doing it um, since 2019, I guess. And then COVID hit, and so I've been doing mini golden doodles and cavapoos. I started after the mini golden doodles, and found out I absolutely love the cavapoos.
Oh, cool.
They are just incredible dogs. And then I've recently, this past year, added um, a King Charles Cavalier, and love her dearly also. She's not a year old yet. And I also added um, another mini golden doodle that is abstract, dark red with the white. And
What does that mean, abstract? I've never heard that term before.
oh, dark dark red with white chest and white going up the face.
Is that a
Is what
cavalier thing?
Oh no, that's the doodle.
Oh, the doodle.
The mini golden doodle is an abstract. She's dark red with the white chest and going up the face.
So that's a
Uh,
poodle color then?
yeah, but yeah, it can be poodle and it can be mini golden doodle.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing right now. So I hope to be breeding the mini golden doodles, the cavapoos, and the uh, King Charles Cavalier.
I have one of those King Charles Cavaliers in my family. It's a real
Oh,
cutie. He's very
yes.
vocal. He's kind of naughty. He gets along good with my cousin's golden retriever, who's
Oh,
already like 13 years old.
okay. I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to get back to everybody. All I can see is me right now.
Oh, it's just you and me and Tony, but Tony doesn't have her camera on.
Okay. But I can't even go back to you now for some
Oh,
reason.
there's Tony. Hi,
There,
Tony.
there we are.
I'm just jumping on real quick because you wanted to hear our story. So
Yes, would love it.
I raise Australian Shepherds, AKC, Aska, and I'm going into my 16th year of raising them. I used to compete in conformation. My youngest and I are starting to compete in Fast Cat. I'm an AKC judge for their farm certification. I'm a 4-H dog superintendent. So this year I had 26 students that I taught, that I helped train, teach, whatever you want to call it. And we do agility, confirmation, or showmanship. Agility, confirmation / showmanship, rally, and I'm missing one, but we do 4 classes. So I'm a judge with the state of Iowa as well for 4-H. So I go around and judge their classes. And I, during COVID, I actually imported Yorkies from Russia and I started raising Yorkies and I decided that they need babysat way too much. So I sold my program this spring. So I'm back to just the Australian Shepherds. I am a big facility. I'm also the correspondence secretary for the Iowa Pet Breeders Association here in Iowa. So a lot going on. And um, the last 3 years, I ran into some emotional health issue things. So I've kind of unplugged the last 3 years and still raised, but we're kind of focused trying to do the Yorkie thing. And like I said, I just got rid of them. So now I've got to pick up my ball game again. And I've gotten to the point to where I don't want to advertise, and it's growing my herd here on the farm. And it's time that I really got to get my butt back in gear and look at things differently because of how Facebook obviously is really starting to screen us. And I've been using a lot more chat, GT and stuff like that as well. But I'm also certified in animal aromatherapy. I use frequencies. So I do things holistic here now rather than yeah, that's what I'll just say. I'll
Like
just put it
natural
that way.
rearing?
Yes, kind of. Yes, I pretty much do a lot of that, except I do feed a kibble that was formulated by a holistic veterinarian. So they would not let me in their program because I feed kibble and not raw.
Okay.
But everything else, yes, that's what I'm doing.
What's the name of your kibble?
So it's called Life's Abundance,
Oh, I know.
and which is here in the States. But I do that for the dog side of things, but I also raise draft horses and have a carriage business and stuff. So I do everything with my horses holistically as well.
Wow. So you're a busy lady.
I am.
Do you have kids
I've
too?
got I have two kiddos. I got a almost 16-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Oh God.
And we own a trucking company, so my husband trucks and we show our horses. And now, like I said, we're starting to get back into showing the dogs and stuff too.
Wow.
So yeah, we stay busy. Homeschooling my youngest. She goes to school for a couple hours and she comes home and homeschools. And my oldest will be going off to college. So I do
Okay.
a lot.
You sure do. Oh
But
my
I'm looking
goodness.
at tying everything in holistically when it comes to nutrition, raising the dogs and using nosodes and vials and all that other stuff. And I'm in the process of putting more of that kind of stuff on my website. And
Okay. Did the website that you gave me, was that your Yorkie website?
Taggerranch.com,
Yeah.
that should
Or
be.
do I have another client that does Yorkies?
Um, I used to do
Maybe I
Yorkies, but
do.
I deleted all that off. Tagger Ranch has our dog side of things that I'm slowly updating, and then it also has some of our horse stuff on there.
Okay. All right. So why don't you just give me a goal for 2025 as far as numbers of puppies that you want to sell?
All of them.
Good answer.
Um, I have I have some retired dogs here that I'd like to get moved. I probably have 8 to 10 retired dogs I'd like to move, but puppy wise, I have a litter due here in the next week that I haven't ultrasounded her yet. And now I'm just going to wait, but I would like to be able to get wait list going and to be able to do that kind of stuff and just get back going. Like I I raise to better the breed, but also I'm a closed facility. So I don't buy outside dogs. So I am a bigger facility because I've started with the lines that I had for 16 years. I keep those lines and I don't bring any lines in. Um, so yeah, I can't even tell you honestly what I'm looking at for how many litters I'm going to be raising because it all depends on the older dogs that I'm going to be placing and like the 2 3 year olds that I want to find a home for before I continue to keep breeding.
Do you have a goal? Is it part of your income plan or is it more of a hobby when you're talking about breeding the dogs?
Oh no, I left a full-time job when I started doing network marketing and doing all that. So I'm literally home with the dogs all the time. So yeah, it is a job. Um, but for the last 3 years, I haven't focused on it and I lost my passion. And now I'm raring to get back into it now. So I'm finding my passion again. And um, so I could probably see having 6 to 10 litters in
Okay.
2025 is kind of my goal. Um, because I've helped this July, I had 27 dogs that I was checking health testing and everything. So, um, I just got to sit down and 6 to 10 maybe is my thoughts.
Okay. So the 27 dogs that you have, is that including the 8 to 10 retirees?
Oh, no, that's on top of that.
Okay. Okay. So 27 brood stock.
Yes.
Okay. And Gigi, what about you? I didn't ask what your goal was for 2025 as far as litters or pups.
Probably I'd like to have 3 to 5 litters. Um, and of course, those numbers vary.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for introducing yourselves. And I'll just take a quick second and introduce myself. I breed American Bulldogs and I have since 1998. I love them. I'm addicted to them. I actually it started from me going to a dog show and meeting one at a dog show, and I'd always loved bulldogs. But once I met the American Bulldog and he was like, 3 times the size of an English Bulldog, I fell even more madly in love. And I finally got my husband out to the breeder's house to see them, and he also fell in love. He lived in a home with Dalmatians his entire life, so his parents raised Dalmatians. But anyway, he loved the American Bulldogs just as much as I did. And he started to build a little website. This was right at the very beginning when people were building websites. And he just had it was just like a favorites list originally. And he just kept adding kennels to this favorites list. And he ended up creating a website that was just like a breeder directory for American Bulldogs. And it ended up being the largest American Bulldog website on the planet. And then we started to show, we bought some dogs, we started to show, and we met some people that had already started an American Bulldog registry because they're not recognized by the American Kennel Club. They are actually now in the Stock Foundation program, but 20 years ago they weren't. So they had a registry, and my husband and I, because we had such a big American Bulldog website, we wanted to be involved in the registry. We thought we could do a really good job with the promotion. Anyway, at that time, they didn't want us to be involved, but a couple of years went by and they decided that it was too much work for them. So they approached us and asked us if we wanted to buy it, and we said yes. So I started running the registry in 2005. So I've been working with American Bulldog breeders since 2005. And I started showing, and then I became a judge, and then I became a show host, and I became a representative for the show organization. And then after started running the registry, I decided that I wanted to host or sanction shows and offer a championship program for the registry. So I stopped with the other organization and I just started promoting ours. So I've been a show host and a sanctioning body for the shows for 20 plus years. And then it was funny, this was about, I don't know, this is probably 6 or 7 years ago. I was getting very bored about running the registry because it was just data entry basically. And I was thinking, what am I doing with my life? This is boring. But I took a program. It was run by a woman named Christine Kane, and it was called Up Level Your Life and Up Level Your Business. So because I'd already invested so much time and energy into the dogs and into the registry, I thought, how can I make how can I make this more meaningful to me? So then I thought, well, why do people register their dogs? And I figured one of the best reasons for registering them is to increase the value because people tend to pay more money for a registered dog than a non-registered dog. So then I thought, well, how else can I help my breeder customers increase the value of their dogs? And so that's what started me on this path of coaching breeders to increase the value of their puppies and to sell their puppies for more money to buyers that are happy to pay a premium price for a quality puppy. Because there's no sense in trying to sell a quality puppy at a premium price to someone that's looking for a puppy on Kijiji or on Craig's place, Craig's Market. We don't have that in Canada, but I know you guys have it down there. So that's how this whole thing started. So I've just been researching and developing and talking to breeders, and that's where we are today. So I am going to start this presentation that I have. This will probably take me, I would say, close to the next 40 minutes. So the next one that we do will concentrate more on things that you guys are interested in specifically, but let's just cover the basis with this presentation now. How does that sound? Good? Good for you, Tony? All right. Let's start with a funnel, a digital marketing funnel. The first stage of a digital marketing funnel is awareness. Are you guys familiar with digital marketing, like in a technical sense, or do you just has anybody done any marketing? No? Okay. Well, a marketing funnel is basically how you get your product sold to a buyer from attracting them. So the first phase of it is the awareness. And there's really only two ways to get people aware that you exist. And there's one paid way and there's one unpaid way. So you can have your website, which is not paid, and you can have your social media marketing, which is not paid. And you can also rely on your past customers for spreading your name or buying another puppy from you. And that's all part of the unpaid. But that is the awareness phase. So you have to have that in your plan because you want to expose your kennel to as many puppy buyers as possible. And part of that exposure is figuring out what exact market you want to attract to your kennel. So when you start branding your breeding business, that's one of the first things that we do is we start discussing who your ideal client is or who your ideal audience is for your puppies. So that's one of the big things. And part of what we do in that beginning stage is also do some research. Have you guys ever taken the time to research the breeders that sell the dogs that you sell in your market?
I just look at other people's websites.
Yeah. Have you ever written stuff down about what they offer or how much they sell their puppies for, or taken a look at their application or their contract or their health guarantee?
I do that when I go on their website. I look at everything.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, that's one of the very first fundamental things is getting a really good idea about what the competition is offering, because there's another part of this marketing funnel that's your unique selling proposition. So that's how you can figure out what you have in particular compared to the other breeders in your market. And that's another thing, there's so many complaints these days about how many breeders there are and how few puppy buyers there are. Have you guys been finding that or feeling that? I don't know about you, Tony, because you haven't been actively selling, but what about you, Gigi?
Oh, it's since COVID. I've read some statistics. I've talked to the vet. It's that the number of people that went into breeding is astronomical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
After COVID. And it's shot our market down here. I don't know how it's going in Canada, but it's very, very tough down here.
Yeah, it's definitely affected the price that we sell our puppies for. We were able to sell our puppies for $4,000 during COVID, $6,000 with breeding rights, and then now, $2,500 is probably max. So yeah, we're definitely feeling it. I feel like I could probably sell my puppies for more money if I spent all of the time and energy doing what I'm going to teach you guys how to do. But I think I wrote this down. I have osteoarthritis in both hips and I'm not mobile these days. So looking after litters of puppies is not something that I feel capable of doing right now. So I haven't actually had a litter since last March, I believe was our last litter. So I'm taking a break, but it's also a good time to take a break because, the market is down. But having said that, there are all kinds of people on this planet that still have tons and tons of money and that will buy exactly what they want when they want it. So although there's so much talk about, people not being able to afford their groceries these days or their rent, that only affects a small part of the market. And then there is another part of the market that's still buying Lamborghinis and expensive condos and expensive jewelry. So, oh, Tony says, yes, I am one of the higher price programs. Yeah, and that's the goal. Like that's what we want. Why spend all of this time and energy in breeding and in marketing if we're not selling our dogs for top price? And it's
I
not
even
that.
had I
Go
even
ahead.
had other breeders calling me and asking me like, how are you even getting these prices? I can't even get close to that and maybe half of that. And I'm like, I don't know, change your mindset.
Exactly. It's
And
a big part of
so
it for sure.
um yeah, absolutely. And that's where but then you get the select few that sit there and complain about it. And that's where I let the emotional side get a hold of me. And I dealt with several deaths in my family in a short amount of time. So that was another problem that we ran into. And so I'm still higher, but my puppies, I'm still $2,000 to $2,500 right now.
Yeah.
And that's cheaper than what I used to be.
What about you, Gigi? Are you finding you're selling your puppies for less, or are you still
Oh,
holding on to
oh,
your?
oh no, my husband is 81 and he sometimes doesn't remember what I tell him. And I had a male and several females. And so I had my male breed two females unknowingly. He'd put them together in the backyard. And I only bred one. So I had three litters within a couple of weeks.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was a lot of work, a lot of stress. Then we had parvo hit.
Oh,
Praise God, I only had one puppy get it,
oh, thank goodness.
and she survived. And because I treated her, but it cost me $666 to take her to the vet to treat her with the new parvo program that they've got. But when 24 hours, she was completely well.
Oh, well, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So no, I was getting 2,500 in COVID, and I got maybe a couple for 1,200 this time, and then I had to drop down to 700.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I had 21 puppies
Yeah,
at
that's a lot of
once.
puppies. It is. It's a lot of
Yeah.
puppies.
So I don't want to do that again.
No, I totally get it. And that's a shame that you had to do that, but I completely understand your situation because I know that once those puppies are 8 weeks, it requires so much more work, to raise them properly, to teach them all of the things that they need to know at that stage of their lives. And so getting them into the hands of families is much, 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 much better for those puppies. So I completely understand. So the goal of the program that I'm promoting is to have our waiting lists full before we have our litters. And even to just completely change your mindset from instead of selling puppies that you have on the ground to selling spots on your waiting list 365 days a year. Like it's just instead of selling what you've got on the ground, you're going through this program and you're setting up your marketing so that you're constantly selling spots on your waiting list. So then when you have your litters, they're sold. Go ahead.
I just want to say, I mean, I was having waiting lists during COVID.
Yeah.
And then this time I might have one on a list and one on another list. It seems like everybody that was contacting me they wanted a puppy now. They
Yeah.
weren't wanting to get on a list. They just, what puppies do you have and what do they
Yeah.
cost? And that's
It's
all
true.
everybody needs.
Yeah, it's very, very true. But again, that is a different buyer. That is a different type of buyer. So we're going to
Yeah.
be targeting those buyers that are happy to wait for a puppy when they find a breeder that they feel good about buying a puppy from.
And I realized a big part of my problem, I had hired someone originally to set up a website for me
Yeah.
from out of state, and she is a friend of mine. And but now, so much has changed, and I have different dogs, and I don't know how to do the website.
Okay.
And everybody is so busy that my daughter could help me, a friend could help me. I can't get anyone to sit down and say, okay, walk me through this.
Right.
And so I know a big problem is that I am not utilizing my website correctly.
Okay. Yeah. Websites are important because that's how people come to know you. And that's actually the next point on this in your marketing funnel is the consideration phase, where people see a post that you might make on social, and then they will follow that post to your website where they can get to know you. And that's where they read your story. That's how they see how your puppies are raised. They read your health guarantee. They read your contract. They see pictures of the puppies that you've produced in the past. They see pictures of the adults that you're breeding. That's how they get to know you. So a website is crucial for breeders. A lot of breeders think that they can get away without a website. And this is a good thing because this is how you're going to stand out in the market. A lot of those breeders that came in during COVID, they don't think that they need a website. They think they can just advertise their puppies on Facebook or wherever that they're advertising, Instagram or TikTok, and that's it. And they can for cheaper puppies. But if you want to attract buyers that are happy to pay a premium price, they're going to check you out. They're going to check out your website and they're going to check out your social channels to find out if you're the real deal, which is basically a responsible, ethical breeder. A lot of people want to align themselves, especially with the pressure from the adopt, don't shop. They at least want to purchase a puppy from someone that is ethical and responsible so that they can be proud to show their friends and their family their breeder. People love to say, my breeder this and my breeder that. And, if you want them to share your information, then you gotta, you have to have a really good story for them to tell on your behalf. So that's where the website comes in. So we can talk about the website more later, but basically your website is the place where you tell your story. You tell the story about why you breed. You tell the story about how you got involved with that breed. You tell the story about your adults and your puppies. And you just, people will fall in love with your story. And then as far as AI goes, we're going to use the AI to create all of those stories for you with the prompts that we put into the AI. I don't know how familiar you are with AI, but when you put in a prompt, you just basically ask for the computer to give you the details that you want. It's either going to be an image or it's going to be a strategy or it's going to be a paragraph about your farm. It's all about the questions that you ask the computer, and that's what it will give you back. So we're going to get really, really good at prompting through this course, and that's important. So AI is going to become your best friend. It's going to become your marketing partner with your kennel. You're going to be able to create images. You're going to be able to create articles for your website. And the articles that you're creating are going to contain words in them that we call search. It's for search engine optimization, and we call those keywords. And we're also going to be using long tail keywords, which are keywords that are more like a sentence or a phrase. And people are searching those, but there won't be as much competition because they're going to be, you can't just put in Cavapoo and expect to compete. You need to put in like the best toothbrush for a Cavapoo. Brushing teeth is kind of a big deal these days with dogs. So if you have a whole section on your website about dental care, you're going to be, way, way, way advanced compared to breeders that are selling their puppies for $700 or $800 without that kind of information. And we're going to go deep, deep into the breed, the requirements for caring for the breed. We're going to be going into everything that a brand new puppy buyer needs to know, the equipment they need, the how to raise that puppy from the moment that they get it from you, so that it's a really good part of the family and it's polite and it behaves properly. So those are all of the things that we're going to go into on your websites that's going to make you stand out against breeders that, well, don't even have a website. Somebody that's on Craigslist selling their puppies super cheap, they're not even going to have a website. So these are all the things that are going to show the difference between your responsible, ethical breeding and someone that's not like that. So that's where we're going with this. So the next phase of your website is your conversion phase, or just your marketing. The next phase of your marketing is the conversion phase. And that's when people decide that they're going to buy a puppy from you. So once they have purchased the puppy from you, well, actually, just before that, you're going to have to spend a lot of time following up with them, making sure that they have all of the answers to their questions so that it's easy for them to make a decision to buy a puppy from you. And we're going to use email marketing, which is something that we're also going to use AI to help us with. So when they come onto your website, you're going to have something in your website that's going to be very appealing to them, that they're going to want. So it's going to be, is this your first Cavapoo? Here's everything that you need to know about Cavapoo puppies, how to raise Cavapoo puppies, the equipment that they need. It's going to be like a little ebook on your breed, or something else, training for a brand new puppy, or anything that, and we're going to ask ChatGPT for all of these ideas. We're actually going to ask ChatGPT. These things are called lead magnets. So we're going to ask the computer to come up with a list of lead magnets for our website. And then what happens is someone's going to say, oh, I definitely want to read that, or I would definitely like a copy of that. And they'll exchange their email address for that asset that you're offering. And then once you have their email asset, you're going to start marketing to them. So the very first email that you're going to send them, the first welcome email, is going to be a very, very detailed letter about your kennel and your story and the process, like your sales process. This is how the process works. I want you to fill out an application. When I get the application back, we're going to have a short little conversation on the phone to make sure that we're a fit. And then once that happens, you can send me a deposit and you'll be officially on the waiting list. And then in between that time and the time when they have a puppy in their hands, you're going to be communicating with them on a regular basis. But don't worry, we're going to set this all up automatically so that it happens on its own. You're not really involved at all. They're going to get their welcome email. They're going to understand what the process is. And then you're going to set up a sequence of emails. So we'll have the welcome sequence, and then we're going to have a nurture sequence. And we're going to probably have like a monthly newsletter about your kennel. And then again, we're going to use the AI to design and write your newsletter. And it's basically just going to have things about what's going on at your kennel, if you're attending any shows, if you have any new adults or new puppies, or equipment that you're working with, or anything. There's just so many different ideas. And again, AI is going to give you all of those ideas, so you don't have to fret about what on earth am I going to put in a newsletter. If you guys haven't used it yet, it's so amazing, and you're going to just absolutely love it. So Courtney's joined us. Hi, Courtney. How are you? Want to unmute and put your camera on?
I'm good. I'm taking my mother-in-law to the doctor's office, but
okay. So you're just you're gonna hang in here with us for a while, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. Do you want to just tell us quickly about you and your dogs?
Yeah. Yeah, I breed and raise Dobermans and Great Danes. And I've been doing that since I got my first one in 2006. And so now it's just, and I've been breeding show dogs and stuff, and mine mainly do that. So.
Okay, so you like to show, and you're breeding two breeds, Dobermans and Great Danes. Do you have any goals for 2025, like numbers of litters or something like that?
No, I've got high demand for them. I mean, I've got a waiting list for females, but I have, quite a few males left over from my last litter, so I'm just kind of struggling trying to find those.
Is
Uh,
that normal that you have a waiting list, that you have more people buy females than males?
yes and no.
Hmm.
So, uh, so it's just kind of an odd market for me right now.
Yeah.
So,
We've just been talking about the odd market. But for me, it's my males always go first. It's harder for me to place a female. But I breed
oh,
American bulldogs, and there's a very big difference between a male bulldog and a female bulldog. And I think you get way more bang for your buck, bulldog wise, if you're buying a male. They just have more bulldog characteristics.
huh. Yeah,
But
with mine, it's
pardon?
I don't know. I go mine. My problem is I mean, you normally with Dobermans, you just can't have more than one male.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually the same with us too. So we would never
Okay.
sell someone two males. We would just sell one male and one female.
Right.
Yeah, I absolutely love Great Danes. We had a Great Dane for 7 years. We loved him so much, but unfortunately he developed cancer and we had to put him down.
Right.
We wish that we'd had a Great Dane for very, very long time, and then we finally got one. And then once he grew up, we were like, oh my God, nobody needs a dog this big. This is crazy. But we did love him. And I just absolutely love to watch him run across a field. It was more like a horse running across the field. It was just gorgeous to watch.
Right.
Love it. Love it. Okay, well, we're just talking about marketing funnels right now. We just went quickly through the awareness stage, the consideration stage, and the conversion stage. I think you caught the email marketing part, so we're gonna talk more about that later. And now the final part of this marketing funnel is the loyalty phase. And this is where you're going to treat your customers like gold after the sale. We're going to get testimonials from them. We're going to ask them for repeat business. We're going to ask them for referrals. That was one of the reasons why I had you guys create yourselves a Google business profile, because that is a really good place to ask them to write their testimonials. You can send them a link. I'll show you how to find the link on your Google business profile, and you can just save that link in a note somewhere, or we'll add it to your emails that we're going to be writing, your email sequence, and then and that link will take them directly to your Google business profile where they can leave a testimonial for you or a review. Reviews are huge when it comes to your marketing. So
So we're supposed to already have a Google Biz profile because I have not made it that far yet.
Me
that
either.
that's fine. It's
Okay.
no problem. This is a big thing. Like all this stuff that I'm talking about is going to take you guys a long time. So you're just going to work away at it. But a Google business profile is free. So it's free advertising. It's about your local search. So there are people close to you that want to buy the dogs that you have. And when they go online, you want to make sure that you're the first one to pop up on there. And so the Google business profile is the great way to do that.
And that's what I actually was just talking to a best friend of mine. She used to raise Australian Shepherds as well, and she started out with some of my dogs. But she's a dog trainer now. And I actually just had this conversation with her and my husband because I've been more MIA with the issues I've dealt with in the last 3 years that I
Mhm.
used to be in the top 10, and one year I was number one for here in Iowa. And I actually, when I started slowly going through what you were giving us for homework, and I'm like, oh, I wonder where I'm at on Google. I'm not even found in the first few pages anymore. And I'm like, I worked my behind off for so long, and within a couple years it's gone. Like people still
Yeah.
know me, but they don't know me, you know? And it's super, super sad. Um, and I had also asked in the chat, what is the email that we will be using, the mailing system? Is it like MailChimp or something? Because I've never used those, and I've learned, like, I have businesses that they're like, yeah, you should do this. And I've never done that process. Is that something that we can be looking into and kind of
Yeah,
familiarizing us with before another
definitely.
call?
The one I use ConvertKit because I've used it for a few years, but the one everybody is raving about these days is called Beehive. So check out Beehive. It's a newsletter, they call it, which is, I think a newsletter is a crucial part of your success. It's really beneficial if you write something to your people at least once a month. At least once a month to keep in contact with them.
Do you feel a newsletter is better than a blog? Because like the blog, I think, can't that
Blog
be
is
sent into a
also, no, you
newsletter?
need a blog too. So the blog is
Ah,
basically just your website. So you're going to be adding articles to your website, which is your blog. And then the
okay.
articles, that's your search engine optimization. So we're going to be searching for these for these keywords and these long tail keywords. And we're going to use those long tail keywords to create the articles on your website, which are your blog posts.
See,
And
and that's where, and I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
that's
That's
fine.
where I feel like I was putting so much time into Facebook and Instagram, and people are like, oh my gosh, you can reach new people on TikTok. So I started doing that, and I'm like, I am so overwhelmed with all of the different areas that when it comes to a website, and like I do a newsletter, but I do a newsletter and I'm like, okay, I'll write you next month. And then like 6 months later, I'm like, oh, well, 6 months just flew by. I am so sorry I didn't keep up with this. Like, you, it's better to follow us on Facebook. And now I've been sitting here for the last year. I don't even want Facebook anymore with, to be in contact with my homes. I don't want, like, it takes so much. And then you realize that you're scrolling, and then all of a sudden, 3 hours later, you didn't get anything done besides scroll, and I don't even want to be there anymore. And so, in other words, you're going to hold our hand through this process because this is all like way new for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is just a mini course. So I'm going to give you, there's lots of information in our little Facebook group. You're always going to have access to the Facebook group, and you're going to have these recordings. I have a mastermind. Uh, it's a group of 4 breeders and me, and it happens once a week. It's $100 a month to be part of the mastermind. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have, we always going to start our mastermind call with a win. And then we're going to go over the homework that you had, because that's where the progress is going to be made, is the actions that you're taking every day or every week on your kennel and on your website and on your marketing. So we're going to go over the work that you decided that you were going to do the last time we met. I'm going to hold you accountable to that work. And then we're going to talk about any problems that anybody has, either mindset problems or technical problems, or any problems, like problems with how to deal with a client or anything like that. And then we're going to decide what our task list is for the next week. And we're going to hold each other accountable until we meet again the next week. So that is an ongoing program that we're going to have, and I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic, because you're going to make really good friends with the people that are in your little mastermind pod. And I'm going to keep it just to 4 breeders in each pod, and me, I'll be on every call. And then if we have more breeders, we're just going to start a second pod, because I think it's important to keep the numbers small, that you can get to know each other intimately, and you'll feel really comfortable about sharing, and you'll feel comfortable about holding each other accountable. And that's how, if you're interested later, we'll be able to put all of this work into effect to build out your marketing. So that's the plan. Okay. So let me go on to the next slide. Look, we only have like 15 minutes left and I'm on the first slide. I'll go to the next slide. Okay. So, oh, here we go. This is easy. We're going to double down in a tough market. So more advertising, more videos, and more social posting. So the only way out of this tough market is to build up your marketing. And that includes your website and your email marketing and your social posts. One of the best ways to attract people to your kennel is YouTube. So if you only had one, if you decided that you only wanted one social media outlet for your kennel, it should be YouTube. And it's going to be you talking about your dogs and just you showing little videos of your dogs because people will get to know you. Remember, when we're talking about a brand is the business. You are the brand in your breeding business. You and your doggies. People are buying from you and your dogs. So they'll be attracted to your kennel because of the breed that you have, but then they're going to buy from you. You know, you're going to become known to them and they're going to like you and they're going to trust you and they're going to buy from you. And the best way for them to get to know you is video. So how does that sound? Just a website and a YouTube channel. Forget everything else.
Sounds scary.
Okay.
I agree. I do some videos once in a while.
Because you can start by videotaping yourself on your phone every day. No one is going to see it. That's how you start. You just pick up your phone and you start recording. And you do it every single day until you've done it so many times that it's absolutely no big deal and you feel comfortable. And I know you don't feel, I know there's no problem with you videoing your dogs and showing videos of your dogs. And our dogs, see, we have the easiest marketing to do because we have our dogs and they're always doing something funny or entertaining or cuddling up with us. So our subject is so easy. So we're lucky in that way. Okay, next. Make yourself recognizable. This is the branding, particularly beneficial for new kennels, looks professional and gives you authority you might not have. So branding is you, but it's also your logo, your colors, the way your website looks. It's all just going to be a nice, tidy package, and it's going to be upscale so that you can attract those, buyers that want to spend money on your expensive puppies. So that's part of your branding. And also your ideal audience is part of your branding. So determining who your ideal client is, your logo, the messaging, the tone, the voice of your messaging, like who you are and how you present yourself to the public is all part of your branding. Ethical, responsible, that kind of thing. That's all part of it. Okay, next slide. Advertising tips. Oh, the photography. This is just, the photography is so important. Beautiful photos of your dogs on your website are mandatory. So if you don't take beautiful pictures of your dogs, then you have to get some done by a photographer. And don't spend lots of money on an expensive photographer. I spent $2,500 on a photography session one time for my stud dog, and I only have like 2 pictures that I use on a regular basis because you can't, they all look the same from the same day of photographs. And so there's no point in having, 30 pictures. Oh, Tony says, I've hired a photographer to come to my home and to do a photo op of myself and my dogs. Perfect. It's exactly what you need. You need some really nice photographs for your website. The videos that we're going to do every day or every other day or once a week, they don't have to be so nice. People actually like authenticity, but on your website, they need to be nice. They need to be nice and attractive. The puppies have to be nice and clean. The environment has to be nice and clean. The little nails of the pups have to be nice and short and tidy. So those are the kinds of things that you're going to think about when you're talking about photographing your pups. Stand out from the crowd. We've talked about this too, the unique selling proposition. So this can be so many things. And this is why it's a good idea to take a look at all of the other breeders in your niche, like in your breed or in your area. Training, testing, titles, your guarantee, you know, how does your guarantee stand out from everyone else's guarantee? Do you start the house training with your puppies? And if you do, you need to talk about that on your website. Obedience train. Do you teach them how to sit or to mand? Do you do the manding with your babies while you have them up until 8 weeks? Do you start their crate training? Oh, Tony says, wowzer, I do 99% of these things. Yeah, of course. These are the things that good breeders do to stand out from the breeders that sell their puppies super cheap. Crate training, chew toy conditioning, which is basically just giving them time in a crate by themselves with something to chew. It's really, really good. Puppies love to chew and it calms them down. And it's a great idea for people that are going to be going out of their house and leaving their puppies in crates to get into the habit of putting their puppy in a crate with a Kong or with a bone before they go out. And then the puppy actually looks forward to that crate time instead of getting all antsy and worried about when they get left alone. You know, there's going to be a routine and a system where they put their puppy in their crate with a Kong full of frozen something, or they have a nice bone for them to chew. And then we're going to explain the benefits of all of these things that we have, all of these features that we have. The buyer doesn't really care about the features. The buyer cares about the benefits. So what's in it for them? That's the thing that marketing is all about, is what's in it for your buyer. How does this make your buyer's life better? How does this make your buyer's life easier? You know, all of these things that you're doing now is setting them up for success. Okay, some of you have registered dogs, some of you don't. If you don't have registration for your dogs, you can create little birth certificates so that the people have some information about them, the day they were born, the names of their parents, maybe pictures of their parents, that kind of thing. Microchip, that's super easy, but so many breeders don't microchip. So when you take your puppies to the vet for their first shot, you can just get a microchip, and then you can advertise that they already have a microchip, which is a premium thing. Go ahead, Gigi. Oh, you're muted.
I thought of doing microchipping, but then I've also read negative things about microchipping and that it wasn't healthy.
Oh, I've never read that.
Well, if I can find it again, I'll let you know. But it was because you're sticking a foreign object into their body.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? You can pick and choose from all of this stuff that I'm telling you. I'm just saying that is one thing that a lot of breeders don't do, mostly because it costs $50 a puppy. But if you don't feel like microchipping because you don't think it's healthy, then that's completely fine. It's totally up to you. I'm just giving all these suggestions.
Yeah, well, see, you do it yourself. That showed me how. And really, if I had a choice, I wouldn't vaccinate any of my puppies because there's a better. It's healthier to wait.
I agree.
But everybody wants their dogs vaxxed, and I hate doing it.
I agree. And for my own personal puppies, you know, I usually vax them all at 8 weeks because I'm expecting to sell them. But for the ones that I end up keeping here, I wait. Like they have their first vaccination, but then I don't give them another one or another one until I need to.
Right.
What's Tony saying? Rabies is required. I'm doing case studies on this. Yeah, I know. I know. It's scary, but at least what you can do is you can do the minimum. So instead of giving them a 9-way or a 7-way, just give them the basics, the very, very least amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would tell my buyers too, don't vaccinate these puppies for rabies until you have to, which means usually until you're going to take them to a kennel or, you know, if they want, they can maybe vaccinate them at 20 weeks or whenever. They can talk to their vet about it, and then once the puppy's gone, then you don't have a lot of control over it, but you can definitely mention something about it on your website. And you can
Yeah.
also offer them to not vaccinate the puppy too. You can say,
I do that, yeah,
yeah,
but most of them want, very seldom do I get someone say, okay, well, don't worry about it, I'll handle it later. But most of them, yeah, they're indoctrinated, and the vet's gonna indoctrinate
and the
them.
vets
So
are, you know what? I mean, the vets are the worst. The vets do way too much stuff to these dogs just so that they can get their paycheck.
yeah.
Anyway, we can talk about that another time.
Oh yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see. I've got puppy personality matching. That again is just sort of a marketing thing. You will know your puppies. You don't need to do this formal puppy personality matching, but it's something that they like the sound of. A premium buyer, for example, they like the sound of that. So they want to know how their puppy scores on this, that, and the next thing. So that's just another thing. Photo album from birth to 8 weeks. That's another easy one for you to do, which the puppy buyers absolutely love. Just take photos of the puppies every week from, when they're born up until they go home. And I don't have it now because my Facebook kennel page was removed. I have a new one now, but I used to have an album for every litter, and I used to add these pictures to the album. And then my buyers knew about the album. And when they sent me pictures like pup dates of their puppies, I would add those photos to the same album. And so it was really, really great because they could go and look at all of the litter mates. It was a great way for them to see how everybody else's puppy was turning out. So that's something I definitely recommend. Oh, the Trupanion Go Home offer. Do you guys all like have the Trupanion? It's the free 30 days of pet insurance. It's, is there a reason, Gigi?
No, I just never did it. I
Okay.
thought of it.
Yeah, that's super easy. Um, I can set you up with that. I just have to give them your name and phone number basically, and then you'll have it and you can offer it to your buyer. But again, this is a marketing thing, free pet insurance for 30 days. The Baxter and Bella enrollment or discount. So Baxter and Bella is an online puppy school. It's a beautiful, beautiful program. It has gorgeous graphics, and the videos are excellent, and the trainer is excellent. And you can offer your customer a 25% discount. And then when they sign up, you get paid $50 from Baxter and Bella. But there was a point when I was selling my puppies for $4,000 a piece. I was paying, it was $110 at the time. I think it's $130 now. I was enrolling my puppy buyer families into the Baxter and Bella program and letting them know that they had this asset, like this training asset. It was like I was adding these trainers to my team because if there was ever a problem, they can call Baxter and Bell. They can set up a video or a phone call, and they can have 20 minutes with a professional dog trainer at any stage of the dog's development. Plus, they have a Facebook group for new puppy owners to talk to each other. So it's another really great thing to suggest or to pay for your clients. If you pay for it, think about the marketing opportunities you've got there. That's just amazing. The thing that I found though is that my puppy buyers were not actually using it. So although I paid for it, they weren't using it to train their puppies. But just being able to say that they have access to a professional trainer for the rest of the dog's life was pretty amazing. But you can still say that, you can say, here's your 25% discount, which is a substantial discount. And then they can use your code to sign up. Plus, you could create your own code. So you have that too, which is kind of cool. So you could call something about your kennel. All right, next page. Oh, we're 2 minutes over. Building know, like, and trust. Start a YouTube channel. One more thing about the YouTube channel is they have horizontal videos and they also have vertical videos, which they call shorts. And there's different algorithms for both of them. We can talk more about algorithms if you want at another time that we meet. Let's see, build. Oh, this is the website. We talked about the website, but one thing I do want to mention to you guys about the Google Business Profile, the Google Business Profile and the website work together. You have to have the same business name, the same address, and the same phone number on both in order for them to work together. But it's a great way to get your name out there, especially with local search. And there's another part of this package that goes together, and it's filling out business directory citations. So I can give you a list of business directory websites, even pet business directory websites, and you go there and you fill out your kennel information. And again, it has to have the same business name, the same address, and the same phone number on all of those citations. And then those things all work together. So those things are backlinks. So they're backlinks for your website, and then they call them citations for the Google Business Profile. But it's a huge part of search engine optimization. When someone links to your kennel, that tells Google that your kennel website is valuable. And that's what the articles are for. That's why we post articles on our websites, is hopefully someone's going to link to your article. So if anybody that's reading the article, they thinks it's great and they want to share that information, they'll link to it from their website. So that's something that helps you with a search engine optimization. Let's just go through here. Your sales process. It's important to have your sales process on your website so people know what to expect. It's important to have an application on your website because good breeders want to know more about you before they sell you a puppy. And then it's also good to hop on a phone call with these people. Once they send you their application, hop on a quick phone call, have a little discussion with them, and that way they get to know you. Have a contract. So once I have that telephone conversation, I say, great, send me $500 to $1,000 as a deposit. I also have a deposit policy on my website that they can read. And then once I get the deposit, I'll send them the contract with the deposit amount already on there so that it's like a legit, like real, this is happening. They have a contract. A guarantee. You can have any kind of guarantee that you want, but you should definitely have a guarantee. You should have a wait list policy on your website, how long you hold their deposit for, whether or not you return their deposit, what happens if you don't have a puppy that they're interested in, blah, blah, blah. All of the details about shipping, how they can come and pick up their puppy or how their puppy can get delivered to them, and another section with reviews and testimonials on the website. And all of this stuff builds know, like, and trust and convinces them that you are the person that they should buy the puppy from. Search engine optimization, the website, free traffic, articles, and backlinks. We talked about that. Driving traffic to your website. So that's the idea of all your social posts is to drive traffic to your website so that they can learn about you. So all of the Facebook posts and the Instagram posts and the Google Business Profile and the Pinterest and the TikTok, the idea is just to get people onto your website to read about you, decide that they want to fill out your puppy application, send it in, and then send you a deposit. Done for you marketing. So if there's anything that you guys don't want to do, you can let me know and I will get you a quote to have it done for you. And that's it for my presentation. And we're 7 minutes over, so that worked out pretty good. So before I hop off, do you have any specific questions for me?
What is a virtual marketing assistant?
Oh, it's just somebody that helps you do stuff. It's just like a secretary, but they're virtual. So, you know, it's somebody in a different country usually that will help you either load up your posts. There's a way for you to schedule your posts. So I can show you how to create 50 posts in about 10 minutes with Canva. And then you can either schedule those posts yourself by putting it into a piece of software, and then it will post automatically for you on the days and times that you tell it to. Or you could have like a virtual assistant put that on into the calendar for you or into the scheduler for you. They can, you know, create your lead magnet for you and set up your email marketing campaign. Whatever help you need, we can find someone that will help you do that. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So, any more questions? Tony, Courtney?
I'm good. Thank you so much for this information. Ready to dig in.
Okay. All right. So if you guys have questions for the next time that we meet, which is on Friday at noon Eastern, let me know so that I can make sure that I cover everything that you're wondering about. And that's it, I guess, until we meet again, which is just in a couple of days. We'll do more AI stuff. Like we'll get on the computer and I'll show you more stuff next time. I'll show you what I do in Canva and what I do with my AI and that kind of thing. How does that sound?
Good.
Good? Okay. All right. So did you get something out of today?
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Tony?
Thank you. And you said what time on Friday?
On Friday, same time as today. So it's noon Eastern. I'm in Atlantic, so it's 1 p.m. for me. I'm not sure what time it is for you guys. Are you in Mountain Time or Central?
I'm Central.
I'm Central.
Okay, so you're 1 hour earlier, so 11 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, ladies. It was wonderful meeting you.
Nice to meet you and everybody else.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.